What do you want?
I don't want my soda yet.
Cat. Cat. Sorry.
What? Bree's making herself laugh. You want
I'm.
to share with the class? This is our What's with the Neighbors. That is Bree.
And that's Amy.
Hey!
I'm Money. Am a little sour. Am I alive? Me?
Be really Bree. That was
We're
lame.
really bad at making up nicknames, guys.
It doesn't help that like your name is already a nickname and then mine is so short. Like, what do you have to add words to
Amy
it
is
to
a
make
nickname.
it a nickname? This is our neighborhood hometown holes.
Hometown holes. Doo doo. We should have the piano music. Doom doom. No, I just mean like the fright, like the scary, the horror, like doon 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 type of music. With the piano.
Oh yeah.
Very suspenseful.
Do we have any announcements?
100th episode is coming up soon. What is this, 98? Or is this 99?
I think this is 98.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's 98. So, guys, get excited for our 100th episode. Please celebrate with us. Make sure you tell your neighbors, your kids, your mom, your cousins, your friends. Hi, Leon.
Everybody up in here.
Tell everybody up in here that we on podcast because we're just a good podcast and we have so much fun. And also it's spooky season, so like who doesn't like a good true crime and paranormal podcast? So it is our prime time. Let everybody know. That's the biggest thing that helps us. We appreciate it. Also check out our website, social medias, wwtnpodcast, and send in your creepy kid stories if you want to record your kid telling a creepy story. I meant to bring Charlotte in to do that as an example, but it's okay.
That's all right.
Next time,
I guess
maybe.
I could ask Alice that too.
Yeah, tell her to have one prepared next time.
I will.
My nephew has one. He actually so like he reads like war books. He's such an old soul.
Of course he
does. Yeah, I told you about him. He's a very old soul, and he reads like all these old war books. And he read me like this creepy passage from one of them the other day. And he's like, I was thinking, does this work for your podcast? And he read it to me and I'm like, oh, that's creepy. And he's like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. And I was like, I think you should read that. He's like, I think I might.
How old is he?
Oh my gosh, he just turned 7.
Mm-hmm. So, and also people, it doesn't have, like we say kids, like it can be a teenager,
Yeah.
Like,
and even if it's a real experience too. If you were like at a party, well, I mean, if you were at like a slumber party and trying to talk to ghosts, there's one of those.
Yeah.
I watched a TikTok today. I may have sent it to you, and it was a slumber party, and they were like that one kid at the slumber party, and the mom's like, "All right, kids, good night, time to go to bed." And they turn off the light, and the one kid sits up and says, "If there is a spirit in the room, knock 3 times." And all the kids are like, "No."
You didn't send that to me, but that's hilarious.
That was me.
That would be you.
If I ever went to a slumber party.
I remember like going to a slumber, maybe like I think I've only gone to like 2 my entire childhood that I can remember. And one was this would all happen in one night. We went to Leslie's house. I forgot her last name, but she's a realtor now. But she it was her birthday party, and we watched the Selena movie.
Oh,
and you know how movie. I know, and you know how like she dropped the rose at the end, and it was a white rose, and we looked outside, and we're like, oh, a white rose bush.
Oh my gosh, she
She's
must be
haunting
here.
us. Yeah. And then we also did the Bloody Mary in the bathroom, but I was too scared to do it. Cuz
Dude, I would be too. I never played around with that.
yeah, and they did something they did Bloody Mary a bunch of times, and then they did something else, but I was like not interested. I was like too scared about the red
Like,
rose
nah,
or
man.
the white rose.
So I don't want Selena coming at that,
I don't want Selena after me. No Selena Ghost allowed.
Beautiful beautiful singer, but when she was alive.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you want me to share my neighborhood story first?
Sure.
Okay. So this is actually from my marketplace, like
Oh, okay,
on my
cool.
Facebook.
All
So
right.
it's like a real hometown store.
Get a little bit of Redding, California in there.
Yeah, hometown neighborhood story.
Sick.
So this it says it's the title of it says affordable caskets for $700. With the prices of caskets nowadays, it's hard for anyone to afford to bury a loved one, so I've decided to offer affordable handmade custom made to order affordable caskets. Made to order to fit your loved one. Prices range $600 to $1,000 depending upon customer's request. Feel free to contact me via Messenger with any questions. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And it's just like wooden caskets that he has carved, and then like I'll send you a picture of this, but like he's like carved like a cross on them, and then
Oh.
on the inside he has like a little bit of padding.
Do they look
that-
nice?
I mean, I guess
I mean,
like
you're gonna be
it's
dead in it, so it's like
you're like, why are we getting? I get this because why are we spending like
$1,000. Yes, on something that we're just gonna be dead in.
And
I don't
it's gonna
care.
get buried under. Like, put me in a
Yeah.
cardboard box.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, at least we'll like it'll like dissolve and we can like become one with the earth, and maybe
Yeah.
you could put a seed with me
Yeah.
and then I'll turn into a tree.
Yeah.
That sounds really hippie, but that also sounds like a really cool idea.
That
And I
sounds like a
think
cool
that's
idea.
actually a thing.
That is a
And
thing. Yeah.
super
Anyways.
trippy, man. Evolution, man. I don't know.
That's how you get haunted forests, though.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so true.
Think
I
about
never
it.
thought about that. All right, hometown horrors.
Here we
So,
go.
since I left off the last time we did hometown horrors, I started reading all of the
Oh, that
tons of
girls.
stories from that. Yeah,
Was it H?
from one of our listen. Yes, we're just gonna call her what the H. What the H.
What the H?
What the H. So this is a second story from What the H, because they sent like a giant compilation of stories throughout all of their experiences in this one place, and so I just kind of like separated them all. So this is
Yeah.
the next one.
Okay.
And it starts out, we had all the typical haunted house experiences and explained footsteps, items in places or positions they shouldn't have been, lights turning off and on, strange feelings and sounds. Throughout the years, my mother remained in denial that anything strange was happening in the home, and I have a theory that eventually she did come to accept that fact, but by the time she lived alone, didn't want to acknowledge it so she could try to remain in blissful ignorance and not feed into the belief of myself and my friends that the house was haunted.
I get that.
I could not. The older I got, the more the activity seemed to increase, and the presence felt terrifying and hostile. This didn't make sense to me. There had been no deaths here and no previous home on the land, and I couldn't think of a person or event that could cause this. When I was a teenager, a bunch of my friends came to live with us, each of their own reasons, but generally because they had an abusive or neglectful families, and my mom essentially became the group mother. At this
Okay.
point, the only shower available to us kids was in the bathroom downstairs.
Oh boy.
In
Why does
this
that sound bad?
Yeah, the downstairs was the area that no one liked to go to.
Right.
She said that in the last story. So,
What
is in
did she call it? She called it
You're right.
something.
She did call it something, I can't remember.
I can't remember. Like the dungeon. No, that's not what she called it. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
You're good. So, at this point, the only shower available to us was in the bathroom downstairs, and this scared the crap out of me, to the point that some of us would go downstairs in pairs, one to take a shower and one to sit on the other side of the door so the person in the bathroom wasn't alone. Like, that's bad.
Oh,
The feeling of being
that's so
alone
sad.
yeah, I would know. The feeling of being alone and vulnerable behind a curtain caused extreme fear for me, as I could feel that I was not alone and that I was being watched. My best friend, who we'll call friend A, and I were very comfortable with one another and would frequently enter the bathrooms to get something when the other person was showering. On one
Right.
occasion, I went downstairs to take a shower while she stayed upstairs with her boyfriend. Another friend who also lived in the house and frequently had experiences of his own. So, I heard the so while I was showering, I heard the door open and felt the blast of cold air in the room as she walked in. I could feel her presence on the other side of the curtain standing in the room. I said something to
She said it
her.
was her. She said it was her friend.
She believes it's her friend.
It's okay.
Her
Okay.
friend
Okay.
was
Okay.
upstairs that she knew of though, and with her boyfriend.
Okay. Okay.
I said something to her and got no response, but shortly after the feeling and cold temperature went away and I knew I was alone again. Once I finished and I returned to the group upstairs, I made a comment about her ignoring me and everyone looked confused. "What do you mean?" she asked. "I've been up here the whole time." The other
Don't
friends
mess with
confirmed
me.
this was true. Friend A and I were the only girls, and neither of the guys would have walked in as I was showering.
Right.
Who was in the bathroom with me?
Oh
And that
my
is
gosh.
the end of that one.
H, are you okay?
I know, right? Thank you, H.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Nope.
That
Nope.
stresses me out. Okay, so this one is from Dawn. Dawn is actually my I don't even know what he is. He's my grandfather-in-law. Is that a thing?
Yes.
He's my step grandfather-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is it step?
Rick's step grandpa?
Yes. But do I call him step? Cuz
You don't
like
call him step. You just call him grandpa. You don't
yeah.
say, "Hello, stepmother."
Well, I mean, like technically Sarah is his stepmother, but technically Sarah's just my mother-in-law. Is she a stepmother-in-law? At this point, he
It,
doesn't have a mother, so maybe it is she just
I mean,
takes the
technically,
role.
technically, it is a step, but I mean, you don't have to like elaborate on that.
I already did.
Oh, okay. Yep, already there.
We're there. But let's be real. Rick doesn't have a mother.
Yes, correct.
So we have disowned her. So, and really, Sarah has stepped in as a mother role.
She's pretty cool.
She always has had that mother role, but like, I think it became more accepting from the boys once mom kind of was out of the picture. Anyways, wow, airing my family's dirty laundry out on. So this is from Dawn, and Dawn is like oh my gosh, talking to him, he's like such a smart man, and Rick loves talking to him because they can, one, talk forever, both of them. Two, he just soaks up everything that Dawn has to say. So
Oh, I love it.
yeah. So this is from Dawn. He said, and he has two stories, but they're very short. He said, roughly 2 months ago, my son-in-law and I were sitting outside on the back deck. All of a sudden, a bright light appeared out of nowhere and it was heading east. It traveled a few miles and then disappeared. I thought about it for about a day and decided to ask John if there was any search helicopters that would have such a bright light, and he said no. So he was assuming that it was a UFO
Okay.
because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Then he said, "Here's my other UFO sighting story. I was 23 years old. I used to go on a run down at the high school track near the house with my dog. Each time I would go and lay on the lawn out front of my house and rest and look up at the sky. I saw what I thought was a satellite. It was heading vertically. Then it took a sharp right turn, went vertical again, then took another sharp right, then it disappeared. There's no way a satellite could make those sharp turns and change directions that quickly."
Where was that?
So, this one was when he was 23 years old in Washington.
Like Washington State?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
Oh,
other one
interesting.
was here in Redding, California.
The zigzagness reminds me of one of the stories that I told from one of those people's accounts at the trial that was going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you had a UFO this story this time and last time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I had quite a few stories. So, I don't know.
That's crazy.
I guess they have a lot of weird things that they've seen out where they live because they're more rural.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
that's very cool. Nice. And
Yeah.
California is such a like hot spot for UFO sightings too.
Apparently.
Huge. Huge.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank
Thank
you.
you. Dawn.
What's his name? Don. Don. Okay, cool. Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Dawn.
Thanks, Don. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you for joining us. And up next, Bree is going to share another hometown haul.
All right, coming to you from my basement. I have another one in Charleston because I'm going there soon, and I was excited to see that this was a thing. So I've been here several times. It's a big tree, and it's called Angel Oak, and
Aw.
it's like the biggest tree, the biggest and like the oldest tree, like on that side of the Rocky Mountains or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's huge. She's massive. She's beautiful. Her limbs like go down and like touch the ground, and like you can like walk over them and stuff. It's really cool.
Ooh.
Okay. So, it says this was someone else's account, and I kind of found it like an article. So,
Mm-hmm.
it says, by day, the Angel Oak is one of Charleston's top tourist attractions, with visitors basking in the beauty of the southern live oak that's estimated to be between 500 and 1,500 years old. It's like a really big difference.
That is a big difference.
By night, colorful glowing lights and fiery apparitions of faces that can look part human, part goat, or boar have been recorded. I had no idea that this was a thing.
I don't like
I've
it.
never been there at night. I've been there in the day. A local couple who was married under the giant tree in 2008 returned to the site on a full moon many months later to recapture the moment in solitude. Yeah, right. Y'all went there to go do it.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's
did.
a bunch of baloney because I would have been like, let's go do it.
You're
Sorry.
gross, Bree.
All around the ancient oak, they saw spirits. They described them as glowing human forms, around a dozen of them in different hues of lights gathered next to the enormous trunk, with several others up in the branches.
What?
The husband, delirious in the experience, decided to carve a heart on one of Angel Oak's branches with a pocket knife, which kind of pisses me off because it's a really like well-respected like place and tree, and you're not supposed to do
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. As he put the blade to the tree, the paranormal display vanished. They began to hear things moving in the darkness. His wife asked that he put the knife away when she saw the bright flash of a devilish face that looked like it was on fire. A visage, she described as a theater mask,
What?
part animal and part human. She spotted one more fiery face moving between the trees as the husband put his blade away. Hurriedly returning to the unpaved Angel Oak Road, they looked back and saw the starry forms reappear. So
Yeah,
something was like, don't hurt
don't
my
don't
tree.
hurt me,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah. It is apparently well protected. That was the Angel Oak in Charleston, South Carolina.
That's so cool, Bree.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think you're supposed to go there at night. I'm pretty
Probably
sure
not.
they have it closed because it's, like, protected. So I don't know when that was, but I
Well, you
wanna
said
go there at night
2008.
now. Oh, did I? Okay. I In 2008, it was still protected.
They
Oh,
probably
they
were just
clearly
breaking
went there
rules.
and weren't supposed to,
Yeah.
but they went in the gift shop and everything.
So, so I have another one from the calendar.
Oh,
Um
yeah.
but I really just kind of I really like the idea of just keeping it short. I mean, it is long for a hometown story, but instead of like trying to do more research and whatnot, I
Yeah.
like the idea of keeping it shorter. So I'm going to read it I'm going to be pretty fast. Okay.
Yep.
So this is called a survivor story. Joseph Samuel, the man they couldn't hang. So, in 1970, excuse me, in 1795, 14-year-old Joseph Samuel was convicted of larceny and sent to a British prison colony in New South Wales, Australia. In August 1803, Samuel and a group of prisoners escaped and robbed the nearby home of a wealthy woman. During the robbery, Joseph Luker, who had been guarding the woman's house, was murdered. After the group was recaptured, Samuel admitted to robbing the woman but denied direct involvement of the murder. However, Samuel was the only one that the woman was able to identify, so he was sentenced to hang while the rest of the group was acquitted due to the lack of evidence.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, Samuel was brought to the gallows along with another prisoner on September 26th. His fellow
That's my gosh.
prisoner
Nothing.
his fellow prisoner was hanged on the first attempt, but Samuel survived 3 attempts.
Oh my gosh, that sucks.
The hemp rope designed to hold 1,000 pounds broke on the first try. On the second try, Samuel slipped out of the noose, though the executioner swore it had been secured. On the third try, the rope snapped again. Ultimately, the crowd decided Samuel's fate. After Samuel survived 3 attempts in quick succession to be hanged, the outraged crowd demanded he be set free. The governor was summoned and took it as a sign from God that Samuel should be spared from execution. It's unknown why the rope broke at the gallows. In the test done shortly after the attempted hanging, the same rope sustained a weight of 392 pounds, even after 3 strands had been cut.
Whoa.
Samuel's sentence was commuted to life in prison. In 1806, it was reported that he had escaped from the penal colony again. He and a group of other prisoners stole a boat, and the search party found no trace of them despite a thorough sweep of the area. It is believed that the group perished in the tempest the night after their escape.
What? Whoa, that was a good one.
It's like,
Somebody was
bros.
looking out for you.
I know.
You
I
had
mean,
Jesus on your side.
he obviously did bad things. He robbed
Yeah.
and he was in prison for larceny and he escaped prison. But the Lord's like, not today. Not
He didn't
today,
kill no one.
Australia.
Oh, stop it. I love that. That was awesome.
I thought that one
Terrible,
was
but
fun.
awesome. Like, oh my gosh, like you're like, okay, this is it. This is my last moments. I'm gonna die. And then like, oh, didn't work. Oh my god, now I have to like prepare myself again. And it's like,
Again.
oh, oh my god, it didn't work. And then it's like, "Oh, come on, get it over with already."
It's like
Like
Russian
by the
roulette.
third time, you're just like, "I'm ready for this. I'm tired of this. Come
Just
on."
put me in a saw blade. Put
Yeah,
my head.
yeah, right. I feel
Chop,
like
decapitate me.
the anticipation of it would just be the worst.
The anxiety would be way too
Yes.
much.
Also, I love that the crowd was on his side.
Yeah, me too.
"Don't kill him." I don't know. I don't know what that accent was. Alright, so I have one. I've looked at this one many, many times, and I've thought about doing it, but I have not because it was
Not
I
ready.
couldn't get enough juice. I couldn't get enough juice out of it, so I was like,
Yeah.
hometown horror.
Hometown horror.
Alright, so this is about the Hoy back. I forgot to look up the pronunciation of this, so I'm gonna butcher it.
All right.
This is the Hoy Baku for Batui Forest. Okay, let's just say it like we're confident. This is the Hoy Batui Forest.
That
This
sounds a lot better.
forest is situated in Romania. It
Whoa.
lies. Uh, it stretches 3 kilometers or 1.8 miles long.
Thank
Figured
you.
I'd Americanize that part.
Thank you.
It's now not that we're against anyone else's. I know we
No.
should be on the metric system,
Yes,
right?
we should.
No, we
Yeah.
are on the metric system. No,
We
we're
should
not.
just be doing what the rest of the world is doing.
Yeah, let's not act like we're smarter because I'm not.
We're
We're
not.
not. Sorry.
This is not a smart podcast. This is
No,
just
we're
this
not
is
a
a
smart. I'm not a smart man. Okay, so the forest is used as a like area to go relax, go walking. There's a bike path. There's things like recreational activities like
yeah.
paint. I think there's like paintball or whatever. Um, and it has a nickname though, and it's called the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania. The forest gained its name from when a shepherd went missing in the
Like a
forest,
like a
like a
shepherd
person, like a person,
okay.
flock of sheep.
Okay.
When a shepherd went missing in the forest with 200 of his sheep and was never seen again, and none of the sheep were. To add to this strange
The sheep
thing,
also weren't found?
yep,
Bro.
everything went missing. To add to this, a 5-year-old girl also disappeared into the forest. However, 5 years later, she was seen again, not aging 1 day.
What? No.
The forest first became known sometime in the 1960s when biologists photographed a flying object in the sky above the forest. Visitors often report intense feelings of anxiety, the feeling of being constantly watched, and the forest even warns the locals to stay, or even warns people about this kind of stuff, and locals tend to stay away out of fear of never finding their way out. And it's not
What?
like uncommon to see like UFOs around it too still.
I don't
So,
like that.
yep, that was short, but that is the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania, the Baku Forest.
You know, you said this is in Armenia,
Transylvania.
Transylvania.
It's like right outside of Transylvania. It's in Romania.
Romania. So, is that the same as Armenia?
Mm-mm.
No.
Romania. Why are we talking about things that we don't know? Because we sound really stupid sometimes.
I was just gonna say because if it is, because the Kardashians are part Armenian, and so
No,
maybe.
not the same.
But I was gonna say if
Romanian.
they were the same, that's where they go, and they they
Just go in
actually
the forest
go in the forest, and that's how they keep their looks young. But
like a
it's
fountain of
actually,
youth.
yeah, but it's actually just
A shit ton of plastic surgery and
yeah,
Botox.
yeah,
Romanian.
Romanian.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is from Caleb. I wanted to what?
You said that like you had an attitude about Caleb. This one's from Caleb.
So I don't know why I said it like that. So I knew of this story, but I didn't want to write it. I didn't want it, like, I wanted it to come from someone else. And I knew that this young man went to school with this person that the story's about. And so I was like, yo, can you write a little blurb about this? And he's like, yeah. So he does not listen to our podcast, but it's fine. He was happy to share, and I don't know if he wrote it. Let me see if he wrote it in here. Yeah, okay. So I'm not going to repeat what he said because he says it in the story. So thank you, Caleb, for sharing this with me. After a 7-month investigation, Macy Sylvie was arraigned today on August 23rd. So, like, this literally just happened 2 days ago.
Okay.
For kidnapping and murdering her 2-year-old daughter back in January of this year. So this is what happened. Back in January, Macy was so depressed because her baby daddy was in jail and didn't call or try to reach out to Macy or their daughter during Christmas. In January, Macy deliberately left out prescription medication she stole from her mother and left it on her daughter's bedside table. Macy was living with her parents at the time, but her parents were also working very hard to keep the household running. Macy told the police that during that day, she stopped her daughter from playing with the open prescription bottles and threw them away. She then told the officers that when she caught her the second time, she force-fed the medication to her 2-year-old daughter.
Oh my gosh.
I know. In a later interview, she redacted that statement and said that she attempted to remove the medication from her mouth. So it sounds like she's not being she's taking back what she's saying. So
right. Changing her
then,
story.
yeah, then she told the officer she gave the 2-year-old part of a Xanax and then panicked and told their housekeeper she was going to take the baby to the hospital. She then got on the phone with her mother, and her mother was begging her to take her to the hospital. Instead, Macy drove out to Oak Run, which is about 30 to 45 minutes away, and sat in the car for about an hour and 20 minutes, hoping that the Xanax would wear off. She then started driving back to town, realized that her daughter was unresponsive, so she called 911. Officers and paramedics met with her halfway back to town, rushed her to the hospital where the doctor declared the 2-year-old dead. An autopsy report came back and showed that she had ingested 15 different prescription medications.
God.
And her official cause of death was an overdose. Macy was asked by investigators to come in for a lie detector test. She instead wrote a suicide note on her phone and left her phone for her family to find. She bought a burner phone under her friend's name, skipped town for a few months, stealing someone else's identity. She eventually came back in July and talked with detectives and was arraigned today for kidnapping and murder. Kidnapping and murder with intent of poisoning her daughter. I went to school with this girl, so it was so weird how you think you know someone and she ended up being a murderer. Thanks for letting me share.
Did you go to school with this person?
No, I didn't. She was 20. She's 21.
And she's a coward.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Oh, you idiot.
Yeah.
That poor baby. What is this, Casey Anthony?
Basically.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that so sad?
That is so sad. That poor baby. That poor family.
That poor family. That's all I think about. Like, I never feel bad for the mother or, whoever did the murdering.
No, you think about the people that are left behind.
The dad that, sure, he was in prison, or in jail. Maybe he couldn't call or whatever. Maybe he was in trouble. He'll never see his baby again. The parents that are caring for them. Ugh.
And I'm sure the parents are going to get like crap for it too. But like, they can't, like, it's not their fault.
They didn't put the prescription bottles out. She told them what she did.
You idiot girl.
Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh. That's so sad.
I know.
Thanks, Caleb.
Yeah, thanks, Caleb.
All right.
What's your last one?
All right. So this episode comes out on my anniversary. Mine and Josh's anniversary. So,
How
first
many
off,
years?
7 years. This year is the year of copper, and it's really super easy to find copper gifts.
Interesting.
So we usually follow the years.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he didn't. I might put a penny with his gift with like the year that we were married,
Aw, yeah.
but I couldn't really find one. But I got him a belt buckle.
You couldn't find him a penny?
No, I can't. I couldn't find him something that was copper that he would like, 'cause I didn't
Oh.
want it to be a waste of gift. Like, I
Yeah.
looked I did however, I did find some, what are they called? For, like, dress suits with, like, the buttons that go
Oh,
right here.
yep. Cufflinks.
Cufflinks. I did find some that were pennies. I was thinking about getting I could still get those. I don't know.
You know,
Anyway,
pennies are not made out of copper. You
copper.
have to find a real copper penny.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Or you
I
can just
know.
give him a penny.
Yeah. I'm probably just gonna give him a penny. Here, happy anniversary. I'll
Happy
throw it on our wedding
anniversary.
shelf. So yeah, happy anniversary, babe. Love you. Um,
Ah.
so I have a wedding-ish story. It's
Oh.
about ghost marriages. And I
Can
remember I
ghosts
wanted
get
to
married after they die?
you're about to find out.
Okay.
So, in China, originally weddings were strictly for the dead, conducted by the living to wed two single people. During this holiest of matrimonies, essentially matchmakers would like look over a bride's age, family background, yada yada yada, to find the perfect fit for them. Then the bride's family would like put some demands in, like a dowry, like a settlement for, or
Yeah.
let's say like what they have for property, money, jewelry, servants, whatever.
Right.
And the wedding ceremony typically involved the funeral plaque of the bride and groom and a banquet. Then, as a grand finale, the bones of the bride are dug up and placed into the groom's grave. In the later years,
I
these
don't like that.
marriages have also involved one partner that is dead and the other that is still alive. Performing the rituals typically in secret, I guess. In addition, um,
Why?
yeah, like it's a thing because it's such a like. I'll second.
Okay, sorry.
You're good. In addition, an alarming reports of an alarming amount of reports, sorry, of grave robbery. Grave. Why can't I talk?
I don't
In
know.
addition, an alarming amount of reports of grave robbery
Uh-huh.
and even murder have also surfaced in Chinese culture. So here's why. In Chinese culture, it used to be like an embarrassment. I don't know if it still is. It used to be like an embarrassment if the daughter was unmarried and like she wouldn't be allowed to live at home. Like think about Mulan, like they were like she was a
Yeah.
disappointment to the family because they couldn't find
Right.
her like a man, whatever.
Yeah.
Now we're like with the normal times and women are like super empowered and it's like
I don't need no
eh,
man.
I don't need no man. In 2015, it was reported that 14 female corpses were stolen in one village in Shanxi province. The grave robbers made money off all the corpses, so they're like selling these corpses.
To who?
I guess maybe people who want
Who are
brides. I have
who?
no
Okay,
idea.
so they would marry these dead bodies.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, you know
But like, what
what?
if they're already
I
married?
bet they never talk back.
Yeah. They say to put a woman in her place by putting her in the kitchen and just put her in the grave.
Just put her in the grave.
Oh, guys, I'm just kidding. Shut up. It's fine. All right.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay, get it together.
Okay. So, I guess ghost weddings serve as a form of emotional compensation for bereaved relatives also. And according to cultural beliefs, many Chinese people believe that more misfortune will be brought upon them if the dead's wishes have not been fulfilled. So hosting a wedding is a means to like pacify the dead, essentially like continuing their lives in the afterlife.
Okay.
So, yeah, that is ghost marriages in China, and it is still a thing clearly. So, yeah.
So,
I don't think it's as big of a thing. I don't know if it's like I'd imagine it's probably kind of like frowned upon, so I don't know.
so this is my take on it. Is if it's still like more of a thing now, and the daughter's like super empowered, and she's like, "No, I'm never getting married," and then she dies, and her parents are like, "Ha ha, sucker, you can get married now."
He could marry me over my dead body. Okay.
Bet. Oh my gosh,
Uh,
that can get really creepy really fast.
yeah. Ew.
Okay, so this is my last
Hey, do
story.
you think that the groom got a boner?
Godfrey.
I had to.
You're giving me a headache. Okay, so this is my last one.
Okay.
So, Joshua Dobson, 18-year-old, was arrested in July near Manchester in the United Kingdom on suspicion of vehicle theft, driving without a license, and leaving a gas station without paying. When authorities went to his home to take him into custody, they couldn't find him. However, after a search, they found him in a very peculiar place. The officers released a statement that said, "When we went to arrest him, our officers noticed a large stuffed animal bear breathing. They approached the bear and eventually found Joshua hiding inside of it. He had cut a hole big enough for him to hide his entire body inside the stuffed bear. He was eventually sentenced to 9 months in prison, and the authorities told the news, hopefully he has a bearable time inside."
He didn't even he tried so hard.
He tried so hard.
I kind of feel bad for him. But also it's a really good spot.
That's a really good spot. That would be perfect for hide and seek, the ultimate hide and seek spot.
We have a giant bear in my house like that. And now I'm terrified in Charlotte's room. That's
so weird.
hilarious. Yes, Charlotte has a giant bear in her bedroom, and I could hide in it if I wanted to. I've thought about it before.
You should.
I got it for our first Valentine's Day from Josh. I was like,
Is
"Oh
there
my
a zipper on
god,
it?
no!"
You'd have to cut a hole into
I
it.
could have Josh's mom put one in there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I just can't imagine. Like you're searching and you see this like bear and you can like
It's just
see it.
breathing.
Like if
Also,
I was
that would scare the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like
But
Toy
if I was
Story's worst nightmare.
if I was the officer and saw that, I'd be like, "Oh, buddy."
I'd be like, "Oh my god, no. No."
Come on, bud. This was a good attempt though. I love
I
it.
bet he lost it.
Oh, probably. What is your neighborhood story?
All right, here we go. So this is from next door, and it is titled "Gorgeous Silver Fox Sighting."
Oh.
And it is a picture of an older guy in a hoodie, like doing some
Yeah.
yard work. And it says, "I spotted this handsome critter in my backyard weeding the flower beds and managed to get a picture." And I guess they just posted it on the next door app. That's all.
They just
It's
wanted
very,
everyone to know.
They're like, "Look at my silver fox."
You think it was
And
her own husband?
it says in my backyard, so, you
Oh,
know.
yeah. That'd be awkward if it wasn't.
Yeah, that would be. It's like, "Oh gosh, that's Linda.
Linda,
Linda,
stop.
that's
Stop
Greg
being a
from next
creep.
door. He's just trying to do something nice for you."
He does this for you every week.
His
Like,
wife
stop.
just died like 2 weeks ago.
Linda,
God,
stop.
Linda.
Goodness
Ugh.
gracious.
Keep it in your pants, Linda.
We are gonna thank you for listening to our hometown horror stories. You can hear one next in 4 weeks, 3 weeks.
In October.
In October. Yeah, and send in your kid creepy stories. We really want to hear them.
Yes. And also send in
Um,
your hometown horrors. If you
Yeah.
have your own experiences, or if there's something that happened in your hometown that's like not super big, but you know,
You
big
wanna
enough
tell
to
us.
report,
Yeah.
let us know. And we'll talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah, like Caleb's story was a perfect example of that. Like, it didn't actually happen to him, but it happened in his hometown, and he happened to go to school with that girl.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to school with that person, but that's why I asked him to write it, because I wanted to get his opinion on it.
Yep. Or it
But
could be your own personal experience of something. Or if you
Yeah.
know something that's someone's that blah, 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 or if you know someone that's had something happen, let them know and be like, "Hey, you should send in your story to wwtnpodcast@gmail.com."
Yep.
Like how I slid that in
And
there.
thank you. That was classy. Have you checked in on the neighbors?
What's with the neighbors?
Bree and
Breathe
Amy
Amy out.
out.
What's with the neighbors? What's with the neighbors? What's with the neighbors? What's with the neighbors? What's with the neighbors?
Say hi to your cats for us.
Meow.
That was pathetic.
Don't get dead.
Why are you mad at me? Is it because I woke you up?
He's all raspy.